Good morning, friends. Welcome to GoOnlineTrainings.com. We are talking about the other day how to create data sets, reports. Using that, we were creating the dashboards, how to format the dashboard, and how to use, Slicer, or how can we create the report without Slicer. Everything we discussed the other day. Today, let us talk about one more important topic on Power BI service, understanding gateways, right? So what is the gateway? Why we need to use the gateway? And what is the need for the gateway? Let us understand today. And so agenda is how to check the size of the data set in Power BI. So many people asked me this question earlier also, how to check the size of the data set. One thing is that we can simply go to the data set. So I have stored the data set in the D drive. You can go to D drive, wherever you have stored your data set, you should be able to get the size of the data set. This is one way to get the data set size. The second way, with the help of a Power BI service, how can we, know the data set size? That is the topic agenda for today, and how to schedule refresh. And the next one is why data gateways or gateways. So these are the three topics that we're going to be discussing as part of today's class. And how to check size means you have to simply go back to the app.powerbi.com. So let me go app.powerbi.com. So let us log in with the help of one user, whatever be the user that you have it. So sign in. I'm going to be using, we have used a couple of users, right? So let me use PBI user 10 and goonlinetrainings.com. Copy this, and I want it to use. And what is the password? The password is India at the rate 12, all, or small letters. And let me sign in. I wanted to save this. So let me skip this for now. Click on yes. Now let us understand how to get the size of the data sets. You have to go to settings pan. This is settings pan. Click on this, and here we have a few settings. When you go here, you should be able to understand manage group storage. Okay, so as soon as you log in, you should be able to get settings pane. Okay, so after that you have to click on settings, and here you will be able to get manage group storage. When you click on this, you should be able to understand the dummy data set is 2 MB and the dummy file it is 2 MB under Prabha data set. Clear? When you go to workspaces, I wanted to go to Flipkart workspace. Now I wanted to know the sizes of this. Okay, I wanted to know sizes of this. You have to go to here and settings, manage group storage, and you should be able to understand, as part of Flipkart, we can store maximum 10 GB of data, and we have used only 5 MB out of 10 GB. So the first data set size is 2 MB, the next data set size is 1 MB. Total, approximately we have used 3 MB for this data set. For another data sets, I think we have used some more. So total it is showing me 5 MB of data. Okay, I think it is occupying a lot of other things also. So when I go to Rohini, and she has created a few data sets, and I wanted to know what is the data set size. Simply go here and go to settings and manage group storage. So the data set size is 1 MB of data set. Clear? So like that, you should be able to easily find out what is the size of the data set. So one way you should be able to go to your local computer and you can, get the link, get the size for the data. So the second thing is that you should be able to go to the Power BI service, go to settings, and after that you have to use manage group storage. So this is the one you should be able to, use this. Now, this is one more interview question. Many times people are going to be asked. Clear? The next topic is that I wanted to understand. The next topic is I wanted to understand why gateways are very, very important. If the gateway is not there, what is going to be happening? For example, let me tell you, I have some data. So I have employee ID, employee name, employee salary. So I'm getting one, let us say Ram salary is 1,000 and two, let us say John salary is $2,000. Clear? So this is the data that I have it in my source table. The table name is called employee table. So I have at 10 a.m. today, the data is like this. Clear? So normally what we do, we create a Power BI desktop. Then what we do, we are going to be simply going here and we're trying to create the data set using this. But after that, what happens? The data is going to be modified. So 10 o'clock, all the data is going to go to where? The data is going to go to the Power BI RAM, or it is going to load in the Power BI service. Okay. All the data is going to be there in the Power BI data set. So all the data 10 o'clock it is there. So after that, you have modified this date. For example, 10 o'clock, the data got modified. After that, the record has been modified. So now the record is 1200. So how do you get latest data? How do you get the latest data? So normally we are going to go to the Power BI. For example, I go to the Power BI desktop and I get some data. So go to transform data. I wanted to get some data, go to text files, and I wanted to get control C, and this is the path I wanted to use and get some employees data, right? So what is the employee file here? The employee file is having some data here, right? So what is the data? I have Anjali 5,000 and Bill Gates 2,000. Some data we have it here. The same data you should be able to bring it here. So click on this and I should be able to get the same data here, right? When you say close and apply, all the data is going to be loaded where? All the data is going to be loaded to your Power BI, you know, Power Pivot model. Power Pivot model. So Power Pivot means I'm talking about it is going to be loaded where? It's going to be loaded to your RAM, right? It would have compressed. So based on this, I'm going to be creating some visualizations. For example, I wanted to know the total salaries. Total salary is, let me use this. The total salary is this much. So let me simply go and give the border. Okay. Let me go back here and click on this. I wanted to use data labels, not auto. So no data labels. The total salary is some, 1,12,000, some 112,000, something like that. We have some data. So I wanted to show you the data in the table as well. So I can simply go there and get the data. I want to have employee ID, employee name, employee salary, something like this. I would like to have it. So go here, don't summarize it. Okay. And I wanted to go here and add some border and go up, increase the style, change the style to flashy rows, and below you have a grid. Grid means complete table. So in the grid, I wanted to increase the font size to 15. Okay. Font size to 15, or let me increase to 20. So this is the data which I have it. Now, if I modify some data, here, so I simply go here. I wanted to modify the data. Let us say it is now 5,000. Let me make it to 6,000 and let me go to file and save this. When I modify this data, and can I get the modified data here? You will not be able to get the modified data. So what you have to do it, you have to simply click on refresh, right? When you simply click on refresh, you will be able to get the modified data. Clear? But once you deploy this data, for example, let me publish, let me sign in. So sign in with the user, this one, Control C and Control V and continue. So it's going to be connecting to app.powerbi.com and I'm trying to deploy this data set, right? So this is the one I'm planning to use it. The password we know, India@12. The password is India@12. I wanted to sign in. So fine. Now it is going to be deployed. It is going to be deployed. Now user 10 Power BI. I wanted to save this. Okay. I want to save this before, deploy. I would like to go to D drive, demos, and under deployment, I would like to create a, so HR, or I can say EMP data set and report as well. Everything is included. EMP data set and report created. So let us say October 11th, 2020, 1. I have stored this file. After that, we should be able to publish. If you wanted to publish something, you have to save the file first. I would like to click on publish. Now, which workspace? Let me use Flipkart itself. And I want to select and deploy publishing employee data set report October 11, 2021. So from where I'm able to get the data. I'm able to get the data from one text file. Clear? So done. Now I wanted to go here and refresh it. I should be able to get one data set here. And what is the data set? So the data set is employee data set and report also created. And this is the data set. You should be able to see the visualizations as well. What is the visualization? Employee. So what is the data set name we have? EMP data set report. This is the, data set name is also with the same name. And you should be able to get the visualization also with the same name. So click on this. You are going to be getting the same data. There is no issue there. Clear? Now after 6,000, what I have done, let me go to the source file. I wanted to modify this data. Let me go to source file. Now the data for the employee, the data for the second employee, Bill Gates is getting 2,000. Now his salary has become, let us say, 6,700. Now this salary has become, let us say, 7,000, let us say it has become 8,900. I had modified these two rows. When I have modified these two rows, what I need to do, I need to save this. Source data has been modified. Now close this. I wanted to simply go there. Okay, I want to simply go there. I wanted to get the latest data. So how do I get the latest data? I have to go to Flipkart. Now I have to refresh it, right? I have to refresh it. So if I wanted to refresh, I should be able to refresh very clearly in my Power BI desktop. I can refresh now. I should be able to refresh. I can get the latest data here. Clear? So I should be able to get the latest data here. Now, when I refresh it, it is going to be giving you latest data. Please wait, it is going to be refreshing some data, right? But now it has become 8,900, 6,700, fine. But this data, how do I refresh? So there is a refresh now button is available. Let me click on this. Okay. Let me click on this. It is able to refresh something. Let me go and check whether it is refreshed or not. Let me go there. It is not yet refreshed. Have you seen this? Even though I have refreshed something, it did not get the latest data. Let me go back, and I wanted to go to the data set, and there is a refresh now button is available, right? So I go to the employee data set. I would like to refresh this. Let me click on this. So it is refreshing. Let me click on this once more, refreshing, and let me click on this also. Let me refresh. Whether is it going to be refreshed or not, let us verify once again. Let me refresh here. Okay, let me also refresh the page here, and let me also go to the content and open the report. Did I get the data? I did not get the latest data. But how do I get the latest data? One way, you should be able to go here. You have already refreshed. So you have already refreshed. You should be able to republish. You should be able to republish the data so that the same data is going to go and overwriting this. Let me click on this. I'm going to be saving this and overwriting the file. Okay, I want to go to workspace Flipkart. Now click on select, and it is saying replace this data set. Yes, replace it. It is going to be replacing. Right, now you're able to do it. Let me simply go and refresh this page. Now you're able to get the latest data. Have you seen this? But the problem is I have to come manually every time, and I need to refresh and publish. I need to refresh and publish. Is it possible every time? So developer has to sit in front of the computer always, because you may be having thousands of tables. We don't know which table is getting refreshed to one. And refreshing is not a very simple task, because when you have a large amount of data, remove all the data, and it has to load the complete fresh data into the RAM. So it is not so easy task. So always creating a Power BI report in Power BI desktop. On top of that, you are going to be clicking on the refresh button and saving it, and you should be able to publish. So this is not the right choice to do that. Okay, without using Power BI desktop help, you should be able to simply go to the Flipkart, and Flipkart is my workspace. I should be able to go, and I wanted to refresh this. Clear? If you wanted to refresh, somebody has to get the data. So who's going to be getting the data? So automatically data is not going to come. Automatically the data is not going to come here. We have to use one more software. So data is not able to come directly, because many times we refreshed here, we have also refreshed there. So even though manually you're refreshing, nothing is going on. So we have one more schedule refresh. That what is the meaning? Instead of you doing manually, you're asking the software to refresh on its own. So whether manually refreshing or scheduling a refresh. So if you wanted to do refresh here, you have to install a software. Okay, you have to install a software. The software is called as data gateways. Clear? So what is the software that you have to use? The software is called as a data gateway software. Clear? So data gateway software, which is going to be used as a bridge between on-prem data, okay, on-prem data and it is going to be loading the data to the cloud. Understand this. It is going to be creating a bridge between these two. So who's the bridge? Bridge is now the data gateways. Clear? So what is the data gateways? Data gateway software which has to be used to get the data from where you have to get the data from on premises. On premises means you have some data in the local server. For example, I have some data in my laptop. I have to get this data and I have to load the data to the cloud. Cloud means what? I'm talking about Power BI service. Clear? Power BI service means I'm talking about a cloud. If you wanted to load the data, if you wanted to load the data from where? On premise to cloud. So on premise to cloud. Cloud means Power BI service where the data set is created. Clear? So we had an employee file, all the employee data gone there. All the employee data gone there. For example, I have 1A10. The 1A10 would have gone here. 1A10 would have gone here. But tomorrow on the premises, you have modified this to 12. So without this software, even though you simply go there and try to refresh, try to simply go there and refresh, it is not going to get the data. So what software the Power BI service needs? The Power BI service needs one more software called as a bridge software. That is what is called as a data gateway software that has to be installed. And when you install this, when you refresh the data, so you need to refresh it. But when you refresh the data, so when you have this software, what happens? You will be able to get the latest data. 1A12 will get loaded to 1A12 here. So that is the point. Clear? So one more important equation. If it is on premises means it is from the local computer. So sometimes I have data is also available in the cloud. Clear? First scenario is this I'm talking about. Scenario number one is this. Now scenario number two, I also have the data where in the cloud platform itself. For example, scenario number two, I'm having Azure data. Azure means what? Cloud data. We can also store the data in the cloud, right? For example, you go to Power BI desktop, you can go to transform data, get the data from the cloud itself. So when you go to new sources, or when you go to click on more, you should be able to get the data from the cloud as well. So I go to Azure. So what is the meaning? When I say Azure SQL database, which is a cloud database, the data itself is stored in the cloud already. From cloud to cloud, I would like to take this data from here and I wanted to move it. If I am taking cloud to cloud, do I need bridging software? The answer is this is not required. Remember, no data gateways is required. Okay, no data gateways is required. Why? Because only to on premises. On premise means I'm having my computer. My computer is having SQL Server installed, or I'm also having some data in the in this folder. Clear? If I have some data locally, if I wanted to load the data from the local SQL Server, from on-premise SQL Server to here, I should be able to use a bridging software called Data Gateway software. But if the data itself is already available in the cloud platform, so I wanted to refresh, I would like to refresh the data. So do I need to have a bridging software? The answer is no. No data gateways are, need to be installed, and no software has to be, required to get the data. Directly, you should be able to get the data without having any kind of a gateways. Clear? So this is also one more interview question. Do we need to install bridging software if the source itself is available in the cloud? Cloud means AWS, Amazon Web Services, Azure, or Google Cloud, or some way, some other cloud. Some cloud. From that cloud, I would like to get the data to Power BI service means I need not have the gateway software. Clear? What is the purpose of a gateway software? If you wanted to refresh the data, okay? If you wanted to refresh the data, where? If you want to refresh the data from where? From on-premise to cloud. Cloud means I'm talking about PBI service. Clear? PBI service is a cloud-based service only for this purpose. So if you wanted to get the data, we are going to be using this software. Remember this point. This is very, very important. Clear? Why schedule refresh? Because whenever the data is getting modified, so I have to refresh automatically every 2 hours automatically. I would like to refresh so that the fresh data is going to come to the Power BI service. But where is the data available? The data is available in your local computer or somewhere in the some other computer which is not there in the cloud. Now, the next question is where the data gateway to be installed. Remember where I should be able to install the data gateway. So I have to install the data gateway to wherever the source data is available. For example, now data gateways need to be installed wherever the data is at the source side. The next question, where should we install data gateway software? Okay, so where should we install data gateway software means at the source only. You have to install at the source, wherever the source is available in that computer, you have to install the data gateway software, not in the cloud side. So you have to install wherever the source data is available. So according to our diagram, so we have to install at the source level. Where is our source? If the source is you're getting the data from here or you're getting the data from somewhere in the source folder. So we have to install in the local computer. So all the data you're getting from one computer. So you need to install in the local machine only. Not, you should not install it here. If you wanted to get the data from the source to this, because already you have created a data set by using this and this, the data set is gone. The data set is created already. Next time you wanted to get the data without having all these things, without having Power BI desktop, I wanted to refresh the data because connections are stored, the data set is created. Now, if you wanted to get the data, so this is on premise. On premise, now this is a cloud. I wanted to get the data means in between you have to install what is the software. The software is called as a data gateways. Now where it has to be installed, at the cloud side or the source level? It has to be installed at the source computer only. Clear? Wherever you're bringing the data from that machine, you have to go to that machine and install the data gateway software so that you should be able to get the data. Remember, if you wanted to get the data, extract the data from here, extract the data from here, extract the data from here and get the data, transform the data here and we load the data. Then after that you create a report and it will go data set. So if you wanted to get the data like this, we should be able to refresh. We should be able to refresh where in the Power BI desktop and the data set will get refreshed here. Okay, but I am talking about I don't want to use this. Once the data set is deployed, I don't want to use this. I have to connect it to this and refresh the data directly here. Directly here means we are going to be using data gateways. Clear? So this software has to be installed from the source computer only. So if you wanted to refresh from the Power BI desktop, you should be able to go and you should be able to refresh it here. So that is fine. But everything we will not be able to refresh, right? Everything we will not be able to refresh. So that is the reason without using a Power BI desktop software, I wanted to go and get the data and I want to load the data here. Clear? So that is the need for data gateways. Clear? So what is a data gateway? A data gateway is a software which is going to be used bridge between a on-premise to the cloud. If you wanted to bring the data, so when are you going to be bringing the data? Whenever you refresh. If you wanted to refresh, you should be able to simply go there and refresh. But simply when you refresh, it is not going to be happening. Or I wanted to schedule. Schedule means every Sunday it has to refresh automatically. Or every 1 hour it has to refresh automatically. So simply when you go and create a refresh, it is not going to refresh. So you have to install a software called data gateway software at the source level. Clear? So that is the need for the data gateway software. Clear? Now, to get the updated data from the data sources, okay? From where? From the data sources, and this data source has to be there in the on-premise. On-premise, so that we are going to be using a data refresh. When you're doing a data refresh, if it is a cloud means automatically without data gateways, it is going to be refreshed. But if you wanted to refresh the data from the on-premises means the data is not available in the cloud. It may be available in the local computer, your computer, my computer, which is not a local computer, which are not from the cloud platform, right? So cloud means AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, something like that. Now, what is a data gateways? It is a software. It acts a bridge between on-premise data sources to Power BI data sets. Clear? Power BI service data sets. It moves data from data sources to data sets in Power BI service. To get the data to Power BI service, when we use a direct query, we are going to be using data gateway software. We'll talk about a direct query and everything. Clear? So don't worry about all these things. Now, way to install the data gateways application or software, install in the OLTP level or the data source level, wherever the data is available. For example, you may be having SQL Server box or SQL Server computer, you have to go to that computer and install it. Or if you have an Oracle computer, or you're having all the data in the shared folder. For example, this is the folder where I kept my data. So I wanted to refresh this file. Clear? So wherever the shared folder is available in that machine, I should be able to go and install what is called as a a data gateway software. So what is a data gateway software? If you wanted to get the data may be coming from a flat file, data may be coming from an Excel file, data may be coming from a SQL Server on-premise database, data may be coming from a SQL Server database, but it is not there in the cloud, or a file or a database not there in the cloud. So if you wanted to bring the data to the Power BI service, then we are going to be using data gateway software. So we should be able to install it here. Clear? So now I have to simply go to where? Google Cloud. So I have to download it. So we have to install. Install what? Data gateway software. Okay. Where? In the local computer. Local computer means wherever the data is available. Okay. On local computer, I have to install. I'm using my laptop. So my laptop is the local computer where I have files, and in this machine only I have SQL Server is also installed. Clear? In this machine, in my machine. So this is my laptop. It is a on-premises machine. Local computer means it is on-prem. On-prem means it is my own computer. I did not, I did not have this base, part of the cloud. So my laptop is a local computer. I have a files and SQL server. So where I have to install. So how to install? Go to Google and you say download data gateway software. Clear? So download the data gateway or data by Microsoft or whatever you would like to give. Anything is fine. Okay. Download data gateway. Simple thing that you have to click on is. So it is saying download on premises data gateway from official Microsoft link. Click on this. Click on this. Now come down. So click on download button. Click on download button. It is now it is taking 2 minutes time to download it. So already I think I have downloaded and kept ready. Where is that I have downloaded? Go to downloads folder and gateway software is already in downloaded. So after downloading this, it will take some time to download. You need to have internet connectivity. So totally 373 MB file. Okay. Let me stop it. It is going to be taking a lot of time and lot of internet also. I don't want to waste my internet now. So I have downloaded already, but this is how you should be able to download it. After you download it, you should be able to get like this gateway install. So let me double click on this. You have to install the software. Clear? So the gateway installation failed. So it is telling me you're trying to reinstall the version already installed in this machine. I wanted to remove the software because already I have installed it. I wanted to remove it. Okay. Remove it and install it later. Okay. Remove it and install it. So how to remove a software? Go to control panel. Go to start. You say control panel. Go to control panel and go to uninstall program. So if you wanted to remove any software means you have to go to where? Go to start and you have to go to control panel. Okay. And after that, you will be able to see, you will be able to go back and see programs, uninstall all programs. Click on this. So I have to check for on-premise data gateway. Double click on this, click yes, so that I should be able to remove this software. Getting ready to uninstall the on-premises data gateway. I'm going to be removing it first. Clear? So you people please download it, guys. You people please download. How to download? Simply you go to Chrome or somewhere. You should be able to simply say download. Okay. You should be able to simply say what? Download. Okay. So go here. You look for download data gateway. The first one only you should be able to open this and it is going to be telling you uh, come down, download. When you click on the download, it is already there. So it is going to be downloading. Start, it is going to be downloading. Downloading is very, very simple. Now I would like to cancel this. This is how you should be able to download. So after that, I wanted to remove it. Clear? So it has been uninstalled successfully. Fine. Let me install it. So this is done. Removing is done. So now I have to install. What I have to install? So install the data gateway software. Where is it? It is downloaded. It is downloaded to my downloads folder. Double click on this. So this is the path I have to use it. So I accept. When I accept only, it is going to be installed into the local computer. Click on install button. Now click yes. Now, do you want to allow this make to blah, blah, blah? Yes. So I want to click yes twice and continue. it is going to be installing now. It is very, very simple. You should be able to easily install it. So let me wait. On premises data gateway installation. It is going to be installing in the local computer only. You need to install in the local computer, not in the cloud. If you have data in the cloud platform, cloud to cloud, if you wanted to move the data, so there is no data gateway software is required. Clear? If you wanted to download the data only from local computer to the cloud means I'm talking about here Power BI service, then only you have to go in for data gateway software. Where we have to install data gateway software? At the source level or the destination level? At the source level. Source means I'm talking about wherever you have files or wherever you have SQL Server installed, from where you're getting the data. It could be databases or from the shared folder from where you are going to be getting your files. Clear? From that machine. It will take a lot of time, guys. So email address to use this gateway. I wanted to use one email address. So what is the email address we're using? Let me use one email address, official email address. So I wanted to use this guy, Power BI. This is the guy wanted to install it. I'm using this official email address. So sign in. So it is going to be installing with the help of this guy's credentials. India at the rate 12. Click sign in. So skip for now. It is saying almost done. So it is telling me register a new data gateway on this computer or migrate, restore, take over from the existing gateway. I wanted to install the fresh gateway software. Clear? I would like to go in for the register a new gateway software. So let me choose this. Click next. Okay. So you have to give the guys. Can you hear me clearly? So people are saying voice is not so clear. Yeah, am I okay now? Okay, fine, right? Yeah. So now I have to give a name to the software. So what is the name? You can give any name. For example, my gateway. You can give anything. My gateway, or you can say Jogi's gateway, whatever you would like to give. Or you can give some name, employee data gateway, something like this. So we have created employee data gateway. So you can give some unique name. And recovery key means give some password. Let me give India at the rate 12. You can give any password. So India at the rate 12. Confirm password is India at the rate 12. You can give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Need not be the password which we have used. So this password you can give, or you can give, let me give some different password. Let me give test 1, 2, 3. You can give any password. Test 1, 2, 3. Okay, what is the password I have given? Test 1, 2, 3. So people may confuse. I'm giving India at the rate of 1, 2. People think that you may need to give the same password here. That is not required. So I have given the password test 1, 2, 3 for password. Clear? So this is the password we have used for the gateway. Gateways recover key password. Okay, so let me save this file and let me configure. Recovery key must be 8 characters. So how many characters we have? It is only, so let me put at the rate. This will be better, right? So test at the rate 1, 2. Let me configure this. Let me configure this. So it will take some time to configure. Installation will take some time, guys. In your laptop also, it is asking me, the gateway is online and ready to be used. Okay. So it is already done it. Gateway version, blah, 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 service settings and diagnostics, networks, connections, recovery case, everything is done and close. So this is how you should be able to install the software, and tomorrow we'll continue further on this. Clear? So there are two types of gateways available. One is called a personal gateway. There is a local gateway. The second gateway is called as a standard or a global, or you can say enterprise gateways. This is very, very important interview questions. So tomorrow we'll talk about a lot of stuff. So what is the gateway? Why we have to? What is the gateway? We understood, and tomorrow we'll talk about types of the gateways, and we will also talk about how to configure and how to refresh with the help of a gateways. We'll create a lot of scenarios tomorrow, and we'll also talk about data connectivity modes. This is very, very, very important. Whenever you're connecting to a sources, what kind of a connection you're going to be having, that is also important. We'll talk about this one as well tomorrow. Clear? So tomorrow we'll complete demo also on the on this, we'll have a SQL Server with import, SQL Server with direct query, Excel with import, what is import, what is direct query, and all the things we're going to be checking tomorrow, and we'll try to, complete by tomorrow. So data gateways is compulsory interview question in the interview. Clear? And this is what type of the gateway you have used it, why personal is not recommended, why standard is recommended. All these things will be discussing in tomorrow's class, guys. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, you're welcome.